I'm Kevin Gehl, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, the official podcast of Holy Cross Athletics. On this episode, we celebrate 2025 Holy Cross Varsity Club Athletic Hall of Fame inductee Ann Zelesky. Ann spent 26 years as the Holy Cross Senior Women's Sports Administrator from 1989 to 2015. Crusader women's teams won 18 Patriot League tournament championships and 17 Patriot League regular season titles during Ann's outstanding tenure. Ann, along with her class of 6 Hall of Famers, will be formally inducted on Saturday, October 25th at the Varsity Club annual dinner inside the Hogan Campus Center here at Holy Cross. Ann, congratulations on reaching the Hall of Fame and welcome to Sader Stories.
Thanks so much, Kevin. So happy to be here.
It's great to have you. I always like to start with this. How did you first find out that you would be a Holy Cross Hall of Famer?
Well, I have been a member for, I'm going to guess, about 30 years of the Holy Cross Hall of Fame Selection Committee. So we get our booklet maybe a month before the election. And so I picked it up and I'm looking at it saying, oh my gosh, I'm nominated for an honorary membership. And I was stunned and shocked. So when I got to the meeting, I immediately told Jim Maloney and Tony Froyle, the stalwart directors of the Hall of Fame, Treasurer Secretary, that I would excuse myself during the honorary segment. And so I left and I was pretty nervous. And I walked in and they immediately told me that I was selected to be in the Holy Cross Hall of Fame. And to say I was stunned is beyond anything I could ever imagine. It's quite an honor and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, it's incredible. We inducted Tony Froyo last year. Now it's your opportunity to step out of the meeting and let your colleagues say some nice things about you. I mean, this has to mean even more to you personally because you've spent your entire life in Worcester. You were one of 7 children. You grew up nearby. What first ignited your passion for sports here in Central Mass? And what were those earliest moments like interacting with Holy Cross?
Well, I always had the utmost respect for the College of the Holy Cross. Once in a while I'd be on campus for a game, or when I was younger, I never got to go, but my dad would take my older brother to football games way back. Well, I don't want to say how long ago it was, but there was always something that connected me with Holy Cross. And I loved playing sports as a kid growing up, being one of 7 kids, and most of my siblings played sports. And growing up right next to Thorndike Road School, I lived there. I mean, punishment nowadays is going out. Punishment in those days was coming in. I just lived outside and I earned my way into being respected by the boys. And I played sports from sunup to sundown at Thorndike Road School. And knowing Holy Cross was in the city of Worcester, knowing about the Bob Couseys, the Tom Heinzens, the Ron Perrys, I always had this connection in my mind, like, I wonder what it'd be like to work there. And who would ever believe that in 1989 I would be hired and I would have 26 wonderful years on the Hill at the College of the Holy Cross.
That is an incredible opportunity to follow in some of the footsteps of the greats you mentioned here at Holy Cross. But your first step was attending Worcester State, where you played basketball and softball. And this was at a time in the 1970s when women's sports didn't have nearly the same access to the outstanding resources that they enjoy today. Who were some of the advocates, champions for women's sports at that time that you looked up to as an athlete at Worcester State?
Yeah, interesting because I played at Marion High and we were fortunate. We had a girls program 20 and 0, junior and senior year, which was unbelievable. We played 6 players and I was a rover, so I could go up, the whole court, which was shocking. And then I arrived at Worcester State and never even knew they had varsity athletics. And I was there for a short time, and Donna Hebert at the time became Donna Devlin, pulled up in a beautiful Cutlass Supreme, got out of the car. I met her, and I found out she was going to be teaching physical education, and she was coaching basketball and softball. And it was like a dream come true for me to be able to play sports. And I ended up playing 4 years of basketball and softball. And I also got to play field hockey and volleyball. But Donna Hebert Devlin was a tremendous mentor for me. She had just graduated from Southern Connecticut State University, phenomenal athlete, played on the Raybesto Cats as a pitcher, the best team in the world. So when she walked into my life and the lives of all the student athletes there, it really made a huge difference. And we had great success at Worcester State.
That success really helped catapult you to a career in athletics and an opportunity in 1989 at Holy Cross. but the timing wasn't exactly ideal. Holy Cross Athletic Director, Mr. Ron Perry, who's a legend around here, asked you about a unique position, but it took a little bit of extra convincing to get you there. Why was that?
Well, I was really set in my time at St. Peter Marian. I was there from 75 until 89, and I really enjoyed teaching, coaching at the high school level, and I was comfortable. And they offered me a position in 1985 at the end of the summer as assistant softball coach, no, head softball, assistant basketball, and assistant director of the Hot Center. But I had already committed to St. Peter Marian, so I had great meetings with Father Brooks and Ron Perry. I said, maybe down the road, this would be wonderful. Fast forward to 1989, the fall, and the coordinator of women's athletics position opened up. And I saw it in the paper. I was 8 months pregnant, and I said, "Ooh, I could never make that move now." And all of a sudden, Ron Perry called me, and I
Yeah.
said, "Well, Ron," and he said, "When Father Brooks calls, you come." And so I went right to Holy Cross. And Father Brooks and Ron Perry could not have been any nicer, and they were so supportive. And I am thrilled that I made the decision to take the position effective January 89 at the College of the Holy Cross.
I'm glad you took the call and said yes. In your experience working alongside Father Brooks and Mr. Perry, how did they advocate specifically for women's sports throughout your career?
They immediately let me know in a very sincere manner they wanted to expand the women's programs, that they were really involved. Ron Perry would be at games, Father Brooks would be at games, that they really saw the importance of balancing off. The men's programs had done really well, and they did everything in their power to try to expand, and they certainly had great expansion during my time there, and now under the direction of Kit Hughes. I mean, he's done amazing things. Seems like he's been there 10 years, but he's only been there, what, a couple of years, and they're doing
Mhm.
wonderful things across the board. And I'm specifically thrilled to see what's happening with women's athletics.
The growth continues to this day here at Holy Cross. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we'll take a closer look at Ann Zelesky's championship run at Holy Cross right here on Sader Stories.
Hey, we gotta get it, gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us, made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. We gotta get it. Gotta get it, gotta get it, get it.
Leadership and excellence in competition, in the classroom, in the community. For decades, Crusader Athletics has focused on our topmost commitment, elevating every student athlete to reach for more, to grow more, to achieve more. Help us to continue to strengthen minds, build character, and celebrate together as one Crusader nation. Because when we commit together, we win together. Join us, Crusaders together.
On Sunday, September 14th, Holy Cross is hosting a free Crusader Community Fest at the Luth Athletic Complex, presented by Jersey Mike's. Beginning at 11:30 a.m., meet and greet Crusader student athletes, coaches, and staff from multiple sports. Kids can learn more about the sports that Crusaders play while joining in for all kinds of fun activities. To register your kid for Crusader Community Fest, visit goholycross.com/CCF. I'm Kevin Gehl, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, the official podcast of Holy Cross Athletics. I'm thrilled to be joined again by Holy Cross Women's Sports Administrator, now 2025 Varsity Club Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Ann Zelesky. And the college enjoyed unprecedented success in women's sports during your stewardship from 1989 to 2015. Among the dozens of championship moments, is there one game that still stands out to you as the greatest during your time with the Crusaders?
Well, right off the top of my head, in 1991, women's basketball defeated Maryland. And the story
Yes.
behind that was um, we knew we wouldn't be hosting because we weren't going to be one of the top seeds. So I got a call from the NCAA and they said, if if you if you're playing Maryland, they can't host because the men's team is hosting. Would you be able to host? So I called Ron Perry as fast as I could, and we had to give a guarantee. And Ron said, "Go with it." And I said, "Okay." So then when the pairings came out, we were hosting. And the night of the game, it was very quiet during the national anthem. I'm saying, oh my gosh, I have to sell my house, my car. I have to come up with this money, you know? And then all of a sudden, everybody poured in. It was a full house. Maryland wasn't happy to be there. Holy Cross played a fabulous game as the 11th seed, 6th seed. The place was rocking. I even know the score, 81-74. And it was the most incredible experience. And everybody there remembers it to this day. And it was absolutely wonderful experience to be part of.
I'm glad you mentioned women's basketball because that program has won a lion's share of the regular season titles dating back to your tenure at Holy Cross. How do you feel that program has really stood out as champions decade after decade?
Yeah, there's consistency there. You know, they started back before I was there in the MAC, and I used to go to the games. Miriam Palazzi was playing for them, and she played for me at St. Peter Marian. And they started there, and they really haven't stopped. You know, they continuously, and when you have a winning program, winning breeds success. And, you know, they, in those days, they expected to get to the NCAA tournament. They expected to win the Patriot League championship. When you have that positive attitude, it certainly carries over in big games like they played. And I think when you introduce your program and your philosophy to the young people, and then they carry it through to generation after generation, that's what happened. And they were able to go all over the country and bring a lot of excitement, a lot of success. And I know my kids, Brian and Kevin, enjoyed those rides. They thought it was normal to go to Duke and to go to Florida,
Yeah.
private planes and go all over the country. And I tried to tell them this is unusual, but it was fabulous for the student athletes, the coaches, the families, the alums. It was just a tremendous, um, it was wonderful to be part of the success.
Let's talk a little bit more about your role in the athletic department as an administrator. You just mentioned that consistency is key over the course of these championship programs, building and building. In your experience, what was the key to finding and retaining great coaches in college athletics?
I would get to know them as people. You know, sometimes they would have the greatest resume, but there were always question marks that came across my desk. And I said, they have to understand what Holy Cross is all about. They have to be a good fit for the Holy Cross. They have to be a good fit for the student athletes. You know, if they don't understand that these students are committed to their academics, that they service, that they're there to get a strong education, they're part of the student body. If they don't understand that, they're not going to be a fit. So I would always make sure we had coaches that would fit, and also good communicators, and loyalty. I was a former coach myself, a former athlete. So I wanted to have somebody that would communicate with me, that understood their important role mentoring these student athletes and bringing them along. It wasn't just about wins and losses. It was about getting to know these student athletes and being a terrific role model. And we would keep coaches, and sometimes they'd be offered more money and they would stay. But I think they really enjoyed being part of Holy Cross and having the privilege of coaching the Holy Cross student athletes.
And they really lived up to that expectation as student athletes because you look at the stats during your time from 89 to 2015, Crusader student athletes maintained a 98% graduation rate. I mean,
They're
that
all
is so that is so outstanding in college athletics. How does that separate Holy Cross from so many other colleges that claim that they too want to balance athletics and academics?
It's true because you can have a pre-med, you can be a pre-med major, you can be a pre-law major, you can go into any major you want. There's not majors, created for athletes, that, and they were able to go to labs, they were able to do all their schoolwork. That was part of the agreement. They were able to make up work sometimes when they went on the road, but when we scheduled games, we tried to have them miss as few classes as possible, but the academics were very understanding of it, but they were committed to being part of the student body. And when they graduate, I mean, what the careers they go into, the networking that takes place, and when they see you went to Holy Cross, instantly people are impressed with that. And I think that's really fabulous. And to be able to witness that and then to see so many of the alums come back and bump into them in the community and elsewhere, it makes me so happy to see what they're doing, where they're at, and the success that they are.
Yeah, it's an incredible payoff. Even just doing this podcast, talking to so many Crusaders, past and present, they really are impressive people. Growth is always a key now in Division I athletics. If you're not growing, you're dying as an athletic department. And during your tenure there, Holy Cross really grew in women's sports with the addition of women's golf and the rise of Holy Cross women's hockey, which incredibly now calls Hockey East home at the highest level of the sport in college. What does it take to really not just cultivate the growth of a program, but keep them on an upward trajectory in such a competitive world of D1 athletics?
You have to have the resources, obviously, and Holy Cross has made a big commitment. And I mentioned Kit Hughes, he's picked up and he's really immersed himself in trying to get women's hockey into Division I Hockey East. I'm so proud because they used to travel in vans as a club team. It wasn't under my supervision. I heard horror stories of how they traveled, and it was just not what Holy
Coach
Cross.
Van Buskirk was driving the bus himself or driving the van himself, he said
There
at
he
one
is.
point.
Yeah, and you don't want to. So then it was elevated to varsity status, and the only place we could go at that time was Division III league. But they didn't want us, and we really didn't want to be in the D3 league. But it was a way to start the varsity program. And then after I left, they went to Hockey East, and I follow them, and it's just incredible to see the defeating teams that have been in varsities Division I for so many years, and they're very, very competitive, and they're bringing in outstanding athletes from around, even up in Canada. They're bringing them down, and these kids are dedicating. The program just keeps getting better and better. But it's the dedication and support and the coaching, and these student athletes come, they love it, and then when you're recruiting, they recruit other kids to come there because they're having such a good experience.
Let's take one last break. When we return, Ann Zelesky looks ahead to her Hall of Fame weekend with her Crusader family right here on Sader Stories.
Leadership and excellence in competition, in the classroom, in the community. For decades, Crusader Athletics has focused on our topmost commitment, elevating every student athlete to reach for more, to grow more, to achieve more. Help us to continue to strengthen minds, build character, and celebrate together as one Crusader nation. Because when we commit together, we win together. Join us, Crusaders together.
Hey, we gotta get it, gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us, made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. We gotta get it. Gotta get it, gotta get it, get it.
Don't miss a moment of Holy Cross athletics on the hill this season. Here's how you can join in. Secure your seats and parking now for the best tailgating experience in New England at Holy Cross football games all season long. You can also get your season tickets for the defending Atlantic Hockey regular season champs. And Holy Cross is proud to announce with any season ticket membership, you will now receive 10% off concessions and 10% off merchandise at the college store on game days. For more info, head to goholycross.com/tickets or call 1-844-GO-CROSS. I'm Kevin Gehl, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, the official podcast of Holy Cross Athletics. I'm joined by former Holy Cross women's sports administrator and 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Ann Zelesky. Okay, Ann, this isn't new for you. This will be your sixth Hall of Fame induction. Now, I know you didn't write the press release, but for those counting, you need to know Ann has been inducted into the New England Basketball Hall of Fame, the Massachusetts Basketball Hall of Fame, the Massachusetts Softball Hall of Fame, the Worcester State Athletics Hall of Fame, and the St. Peter Marian High School Hall of Fame. And that's an incredible resume. How's Holy Cross going to stand out in that crowd?
Oh my gosh. I mean, ever since I found out Holy Cross was going to induct me in the Hall of Fame, I keep pinching myself. And so many people in the community coming up to me, it's such a incredible group of people to be on the board with. Every time I go in the Luth Athletic Center, I look
That's
on
right.
the wall and I see these coaches, Jim Cavanaugh, Meg Galligan, Ron Perry. I'm just humbled by this unbelievable honor, and I can't wait to share it with my family. Actually, my sons, Brian and Kevin, both graduate from Holy Cross 2011 and 12. My daughter-in-law married to Brian. She's a Holy Cross grad. Her dad's a Holy Cross grad. And Holy Cross has been huge in our family. And so to share it with my family and my friends and so many other people and the other inductees who, I mean, they have incredible backgrounds also. And I can't wait for this big night.
I'm so glad Brian and Kevin will be there as Crusader alums to enjoy this with you. And you'll also share the Hall of Fame stage with one of your former student athletes, Megan Orr, class of '07 from women's lacrosse. How does that just add to the impact of this ceremony for you?
I was so excited when Megan was inducted, when she was elected during our meeting. And she just came in out of nowhere. I didn't know much about her. And for 4 years, she was the unbelievable goalkeeper. She, along with Tricia Sutton, who was a
Mhm.
great goal scorer, who's already in the Hall of Fame, created an incredible women's lacrosse program during their tenure. And they went to the NCAA tournament twice. And they played at Duke and they played at Northwestern. So they were good. So to see Megan inducted on the same stage as me, it gives me great honor, and I'm so excited to be there with Megan.
For so many years, you've been involved in selecting the inductees and planning this wonderful induction event. Now you get to take the stage. How does that experience of hearing the stories, seeing the emotion from so many Crusader greats play into what you'll share on that stage with your fellow Crusaders?
Yeah, that's interesting because I think for the past 30 years or so, I haven't missed many Hall of Fame dinners because they're so well run. I'll give a shout out to Tony Froyo and Jim Maloney. Like I knew they did a lot, but I can't believe what's involved with this Hall of Fame dinner. They're superstars. And I love the stories. I love the passion. I love the excitement. I love walking at the reception. I like walking through people and everybody has a different story to tell. So to think that I'm going to be up on that stage, receiving the award and receiving an honor that I would never dream of makes me so happy, and I'm just over the moon. And my grandkids are going to be there too, so get ready.
Oh, great.
4 and 2, so get ready.
It's hard to put an entire career into focus, especially when it's your own. But I always love to ask Hall of Famers like you, Ann, what do you feel personally made you stand out as a Hall of Famer?
Hopefully one of the words is humility and loyalty. It's not about me as a coach. It's not about me as an administrator. It's about what's best for the student athletes and also the connections I would have with families. The families knew that I was there and I was there for the right reason, and no matter what came up, I tried to represent support the student athletes like I would support my own kids, and I had unbelievable connections. I'd even have some of the men's basketball players come over for dinner. And because my son was manager of the team and getting to know them, and my relatives would be there and they say, these kids are unbelievable. It's just such a spectacular experience to have been around these incredible student athletes.
Ann Zelesky, thank you for committing your lifetime's work to college athletics, women's athletics, and thank you for being part of this Holy Cross community. We can see the impact that you have left here at the college, and we are so excited to hear what you share at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is coming up on October 25th. Have you started preparing your speech yet?
I've written a few notes, but I'm going to do it ahead of time because I'm a worrier. I don't like to give speeches. I've done it many times, so I'm going to have it done ahead of time, so I'm not worrying the whole month of October away. I'll be right to the point. I won't give a 30-minute speech. Don't worry about that. I've learned, but I'm always to the point, but I'm looking forward to it and I can't wait. And thank you, Kevin. I really enjoy your podcasts. I've been watching them since you've been creating them, and thank you. I love learning about the student athletes and all the special people involved in Holy Cross.
That's very kind of you, Ann. I really appreciate that. We want this podcast to be a place where Crusaders past and present can really stay connected to the college. So take your time on your speech, enjoy your moment, have fun on that stage, and I wish you all the best as you share it with your sons and your grandkids and the entire Holy Cross community. Thanks again for doing this.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
We'll see you soon. My thanks to everyone for tuning in as well. We'll be back soon with another episode of Sader Stories celebrating more Holy Cross Hall of Fame inductees. Until then, we ask that you tell your fellow Crusaders about Sader Stories, available anytime on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks again for tuning in to Sader Stories. I'm Kevin Gehl. Go Cross Go.